Hello and welcome. Come on in, find a cozy spot. Isn't this just the most wonderful, chaotic, beautiful time of the year? The lights, the music, the feeling in the air, and of course, the traditions. For so many of us, a huge part of those traditions involves gathering with family, turning on the TV, and getting lost in those heartwarming holiday specials. The ones that make you laugh, maybe tear up a little, and just fill you with that genuine Christmas spirit. And you know, some of the most beloved holiday viewing comes from families who've welcomed us into their homes, and their lives, for years. Families like the Roloffs from Little People, Big World. They're not actors on a soundstage, they're a real family with real joys, real challenges, and real, beautifully complicated relationships. We've watched the kids grow up, find love, start families of their own, and navigate all the triumphs and trials that come with it. Tonight, I want to talk about a moment from a recent holiday season that, for me, just crystallized what this show, and this time of year, is all about. It was Lilah Roloff's big night. Her most confident, joyful, unforgettable Christmas performance yet. If you saw it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That pure, unadulterated sparkle. And if you didn't, well, let me paint you the picture, because this was about so much more than just a cute kid in a festive dress. This was a milestone. A victory lap. A testament to sheer, stubborn, wonderful love. To really understand the magnitude of this night, we have to rewind a little. We have to talk about Lilah's journey, because context is everything. Lilah Roloff, the beautiful daughter of Tori and Zach Roloff, came into this world, like her father and her grandfather before her, with achondroplasia, the most common form of dwarfism. And from the very beginning, her path has been unique. We've watched, with hearts in our throats sometimes, as she's faced and overcome significant physical challenges. Early on, there were concerns about low muscle tone, common for many children with achondroplasia. We saw her working so hard in physical therapy, learning to hold her head up, to roll over, to sit. Milestones that come easily to some require immense determination for others. And then, there was the plagiocephaly, the flattening of the head, which meant she wore a corrective helmet for 23 hours a day. Remember that? Tori and Zach shared that journey so openly. The stares in public, the explanations, the sheer practicality of it all, but always underscored by this fierce commitment to doing what was best for their girl. They celebrated the helmet, decorated it, made it a part of her. That wasn't just parenting, that was advocacy in action. They were teaching Lilah, and everyone watching, that the tools that help us are not something to hide, but something to embrace. We also watched as she navigated the world with significant vision issues. Lilah has something called Duane syndrome, which affects eye movement, and she's profoundly farsighted, wearing those adorable, thick glasses. Think about that for a moment from a child's perspective. The world is blurry up close. Tracking movement might be harder. Your physical interaction with your environment is shaped by this. Yet, through it all, what has shone through, broadcast in every giggle, every mischievous smile, every determined frown, is Lilah's personality. A spirit that is feisty, curious, playful, and full of a quiet, observing intelligence. Tori and Zach have never shied away from the realities. They've talked about the anxiety, the sleepless nights, the constant appointments with specialists, orthopedists, neurologists, ophthalmologists, physical therapists. Their lives, like those of so many special needs parents, are a masterclass in logistics and love. But their message has never been one of burden. It's been one of celebration. Celebrating every single win, no matter how small it might seem to an outsider. Which brings us to the Christmas season. The performance. It was likely a preschool or daycare holiday show. You know the scene. The slightly chaotic, unbearably cute gathering of toddlers and young children on a makeshift stage or in the front of a room. There are always the ones who cry, the ones who wave frantically at their parents, the ones who pick their nose, the star who belts out every word, and the ones who just stand there, stunned by the crowd. And then, there was Lilah. Dressed in something undoubtedly festive, maybe a red velvet dress, a sparkly hair bow, her glasses perched on her nose. But it wasn't the outfit. It was the posture. The expression. For perhaps the first time in a very public setting like this, we saw Lilah not just participating, but performing. Owning her space. She wasn't looking down or seeming unsure. She was singing, or at least mouthing the words with great seriousness. She was doing the hand motions, maybe a little offbeat, but with commitment. There was a look on her face that was new to us as an audience, a serene, focused confidence. Can you imagine what that moment felt like for Tori and Zach? After all the hours in waiting rooms, all the exercises on the living room floor, all the worries about how she would navigate a world not designed for her? To see her up there, simply being a kid, shining in her own right, surrounded by her peers, that's not just a Christmas moment. That's a payoff. That's the fruit of every tear, every prayer, every cheer of encouragement whispered and shouted. This performance was a landmark because it was a public declaration of Lilah's integration. It was evidence that all that work, hers and her parents', was creating a foundation strong enough for her to stand on, literally and metaphorically, and beam. Her confidence was the real showstopper. It spoke volumes. It said, I belong here. I am part of this joy, this noise, this celebration. And in that, it connected to the deepest, most universal themes of little people, big world, and frankly, to the deepest themes of Christmas itself. Think about the name of the show, Little People, Big World. It's a brilliant title because it works on so many levels. Literally, it's about people of short stature navigating a world built for average height people. Counters are too high, pedals are too far, the world is literally scaled differently. But figuratively, it's about all of us. Anyone who has ever felt other, out of place, or like they have to work twice as hard to fit into a space, whether that's due to physical difference, race, gender identity, neurodivergence, you name it. The big world can feel intimidating, exclusionary, and overwhelming. The Roloff family's entire story, across generations, is about making that big world fit them, not the other way around. Matt building that incredible farm, modifying tractors, creating a legacy on his own terms. Amy building her life and her own home after divorce. Zach and Tori choosing to move to Washington to give their children a different kind of life, one where they could thrive. It's about adaptation, resilience, and stubborn joy. Lilah's confident Christmas performance is a direct continuation of that legacy. She is a third-generation little person in her family, born into a world that is, thanks to the battles fought by her grandfather and father, slightly more aware. But she also has her own unique battles, the low tone, the eyesight. Her big world has extra layers of bigness. And on that stage, she was conquering a piece of it. She was taking a space that could feel overwhelming, bright lights, loud music, crowds, and making it hers. She was demonstrating that the confidence her family has fought to instill in her had taken root. Now, let's tie this directly to Christmas. Because this isn't just a sweet family moment, it's a perfect holiday parable. What is Christmas, at its very heart, if not a story about unexpected joy arriving in a humble package? It's about light shining in the darkness. It's about hope being born into a world that can seem, frankly, pretty hopeless sometimes. It's about the value of a single, seemingly small life to change everything. Lilah, in her festive dress, with her glasses and her determined smile, is that metaphor in living color. Her life, like every child's, is a promise. But her journey highlights it in stark relief. The world might look at her and see limitations, challenges, a list of diagnoses. But on that night, what she projected was pure potential, pure light, pure joy. She was the smallest one on that stage, perhaps, but her presence was big. She embodied that Christmas truth, the most powerful gifts often come in the smallest packages. Her performance was a testament to love. Not the sappy, sentimental love of a TV movie, but the gritty, daily, relentless love of parents who show up. The love that does the exercises even when it's frustrating. The love that advocates at doctor's appointments. The love that says, you can do this, 1,000 times until the child believes it. Tori and Zach's love built the stage upon which Lilah's confidence could stand. Christmas tells us God so loved the world, and that divine love is mirrored in the human world by this kind of sacrificial, shaping, empowering love. It's a love that doesn't just accept, but actively builds a foundation for confidence to grow. It's also a story of community. The holiday show itself is a micro-community. Lilah wasn't up there alone. She was with her classmates. She was performing for her teachers, her family, other parents. This was her being seamlessly woven into the social fabric of her little world. For a child who could easily be sidelined, this inclusion is everything. It's the peace on earth, goodwill to men part of Christmas made manifest. It's a community saying, you have a place here. Your voice is part of our song. That's what we all crave, isn't it? To belong. To be part of the choir. And finally, it's about joy. Unfiltered, unconquerable joy. The kind that bursts through challenges. Lilah's face, in that moment of performance, likely showed a joy that was completely her own. Not a performance for the camera, but a genuine engagement with the moment. That kind of joy is contagious. It's regenerative. It's why we watch these holiday specials, to tap into that pure, childlike wonder. In a season that can be stressful with shopping and travel and family drama, Lilah's confidence reminds us of the core: find your sparkle, own your moment, sing your song, however off-key it might be. We can all learn from Lilah's big night. How many of us are holding back because we don't feel confident on our stage? Maybe it's a literal stage, or maybe it's a meeting at work, a social gathering, or just voicing an opinion within our own family. We focus on what makes us different, what we think are our shortcomings, our own versions of low tone or farsightedness. We think we're not ready, not strong enough, not clear-sighted enough to participate fully. Lilah's lesson is, do it anyway. Show up in your metaphorical festive dress and your glasses, and commit to the hand motions. Your confidence won't come from the absence of challenge, but from doing the hard work and then stepping into the light anyway. Your version of Tori and Zach's love, self-love, the support of friends, faith, has built a foundation. Trust it. For parents, especially those raising children with extra needs, this moment is a beacon. It's a promise that the sleepless nights, the worrying, the relentless advocacy, it matters. It builds something. You may not see the results every day, but there will be a night, a Christmas performance, a moment where you see your child stand tall in their own way, and you will know. Every keep going was worth it. You are building a person, and their confidence is the most beautiful structure you will ever create. For all of us as a society, Lilah's confident performance is a call to build wider stages. To create more inclusive spaces, physically, socially, emotionally, where every child, every person, feels they have a spot under the lights. Where differences aren't just accommodated but celebrated as part of the rich tapestry of the performance. The goal isn't for everyone to be the same, it's for everyone to have the chance to shine with their own unique light. So, as we move through this holiday season, with all its noise and rush, let's try to hold on to the image of that confident little girl on the stage. Let it remind us that the greatest gifts are often triumphs in disguise. Let it remind us that love is a verb, and its most powerful product is confidence. Let it remind us that our differences are not barriers to joy, but can be the very source of our unique strength. And let it remind us that sometimes, the most profound Christmas special isn't a Hollywood production with $1 million budget. It's a real-life moment, in a crowded room, where a child finds her voice, stands in her power, and shows us all what big world courage looks like, emanating from the smallest, most spirited among us. Lilah Roloff's most confident Christmas performance yet wasn't just a milestone for her family. It was a gift to everyone watching. A reminder of resilience, a testament to love, and a beautiful, sparkly embodiment of the message at the heart of this season: hope is here. Light shines. And joy will always find a way to perform. Thank you for sharing this time with me. Now, go find your stage, and shine. Happy holidays.